Now, how pretty is this? Supermodel. It is absolutely stunning. So you've read the title of this video. You know what you're looking at. This really is a dream guitar for me. It's the first Gibson guitar I have ever owned that's ever been in my guitar collection. And you know, I've been playing for over 30 years and I've owned lots of brands of guitars, but Gibson hasn't really featured in my kind of like psyche because of the players who most influenced me, guys like George Lynch and Warren DeMartini, Nuno Bettencourt, etc., etc. You know, these guys were super Strat guys. So I kind of came to the Gibson party a little bit later. And Les Pauls are super cool. I love them, but a lot of them, the necks are a little bit fat for me. They're great, don't get me wrong. They feel really great and stuff, but they are a little bit thicker than like a super Strat neck. So I've kind of veered away from like buying a Les Paul for many, many years. I do have an ESP LTD EC256, which I bought I think in 2014 now. So that was my kind of first foray into the kind of Les Paul type of thing, Gibson type of thing. And then recently I acquired a vintage V100 AFD. I tried one back in 2015 as well, and I loved it. Absolutely amazing guitar. Very much like a Gibson Les Paul, but you know, thinner neck, etc., etc., bigger, fatter frets, etc. So it kind of worked for my playing. And I acquired one just a few months back actually, and it's stunning. But this one has made it to my collection, and honestly, it is an absolute dream guitar. The neck is just awesome. It feels like a super Strat neck. And look at it. It's a very J guitar. This one is a very J guitar. So I'll tell you the story about how it actually ended up being in my guitar collection in a second, but I want to tell you a little bit about the guitar itself first. USA made. Serial number on the back of the headstock says that it was built on the 12th of October 2006 in Nashville. And how it actually became this paint scheme, this color, this finish, was that it went to a guy called Steve Berman at Sabre Guitars. And Steve basically, he's built a few guitars over the years, and just a small handful of guitars, but they're absolutely beautiful. They have a theme to them, have the metal plates on them and the burning on the metal plates. This paint finish that you see, I'll give you a close-up of the paint finish at the back. It is just superb. It's this marbling effect in this blue color on this with a black burst around the edge. It's just totally stunning. It's really, really beautiful. So he'd done all that work and then put these fabulous skull knobs on there, and the selector switch is this huge spike. It's very appropriate for the finish of this. You know, I have a guitar company, Spirit Dance Guitars. I have one of my guitars right here. If I was building a V, I'd probably do something like this. So the fact that it's here and it looks like this is just totally perfect. Now, when I received it, it was a little bit different, and I did a couple of little mods to it, and I'll go through all of them. But basically how it made it to my house was about a month back. My very, very good friend, Dan Lovett-Horn from the band Promethium, he came around and he'd already told me, bring around a Flying V. You need a Flying V in your collection. This is the second V he's actually given to me, and the other one is a Randy Rhoads style Ran V, which is just brilliant. It's a really cool guitar. But he said, you need a Gibson Flying V. You need this Gibson Flying V in your collection. And I'd already decided to actually give him one of my Spirit Dance guitars, which is a Telecaster style guitar, which I built a couple of years ago, because he's been pining after a Telecaster style guitar for a long, long time. For a few years we've been talking about it and stuff, and you know, he's really wanted one. And I knew he would love the one that I built because the neck is perfect for him. You know, the tones are just absolutely perfect, etc. So we did a guitar swap. And so I am the very, very proud keeper of this awesome instrument now. So, like I said, I did a couple of mods after Dan brought it around. it originally had a plate underneath the metal plate here in between, and that was a kind of metallic kind of orange and silver color. Looked pretty cool, but I wanted to see more of the blue color, and Dan had basically said you should take that off because it looks okay. But anyways, so I did take it off. It was really easy, just peeled off the back of the metal plate there. And I needed to build this little carbon fiber plate here just to cover up the control cavity, but that was no big deal for me to do. It took me like 15 minutes to do that. So I could see more of the blue, and I think it looks stunning like that. The other thing that I did was build a carbon fiber plate for the truss rod cover, because the original one looks like that. Yeah, it's a big white panel, and in the scheme of things, it looks kind of cool, but with this finish, taking off the stuff here, no, that had to go. So I built a carbon fiber one, and I did it in flames. Basically, it looks like flames, and obviously the Gibson logo I put on there, I had that from something else I did recently. The other thing that I did was I brushed the bridge and the hardware so that it would have a kind of brushed aluminum kind of look. I think it just looks nicer than the plain chrome that it was. So I did that, distressed it a little bit, and then changed the pickups as well. In the bridge, I now have a Pariah Pasadena Black, which is one of my absolute favorite pickups. And in the neck, Seymour Duncan Screaming Demon, which works fabulously well in the neck position if you're ever looking for a neck humbucker. And then I just rewired it because the wiring wasn't kind of working properly and stuff, so I needed to do a few bits and pieces and change the toggle switch, etc, etc. But that was it. Did that and rock and roll. Such an awesome guitar. Wanted to share with you guys about this. Just stunning instrument. It plays like an absolute dream. It really does. It sounds just gorgeous. It has that Flying V thing. And recently I saw a video which Joe Bonamassa had done at Norm's Rare Guitars in Los Angeles, and he was saying that a Flying V basically sits somewhere in between a Les Paul and a Strat. So not as fat sounding as a Les Paul, but not as thin sounding as a Strat. So somewhere right in between. And it's absolutely correct. That's how it sounds. It just has this, it has more chunk than a Strat style guitar, probably because of the bigger body. And it's also clad in all of this metal, which is probably made out of steel or something, because you can kind of see all the little kind of indentations around the side. It wasn't just cut from a piece of aluminum and filed down. It's a big, thick piece of metal. So it has this big fat tone, and the neck is fantastic, really beautiful neck. Like I said, it's like a Super Strat style of neck, which I didn't expect from a Gibson guitar. And gorgeous fretwork, etc, etc. Really, really lovely to play. So I have taken it into the studio already and recorded with this little thing, which is back here, which is my little mini amp, my JP5, which is a very, very high gain amp. This is probably the highest gain amp that I own. It's nuts. You'll hear it in just a second. But there you go, guys and girls. My very first Gibson guitar. It's 2006 Flying V. Huge thank you to Dan for bringing it around and making me add it to my collection. He did make me add it to my collection. As I did make him add a Telecaster, which he plays regularly now, to his collection. So go ahead and check out his band as well. It's called Promethium. I will leave a link somewhere up here to their YouTube channel and in the description box below as well. I know you want to hear how this sounds. I want to show you. So I am going to show you the track which I recorded with it. Have a fantastic day. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so that you know when new videos are going to be coming out. And then you'll get to know when I play this next as well. Yeah, on another video. I'm sure it'll feature quite a lot because look at it. It's a supermodel. It's sleek, it's slim, it's beautiful, gorgeous hips. All right, guys and girls, have a fantastic day. I'll see you again soon with another video. See you later. Bye.